The glow of neon flickered across the rain-slick streets of Terra Nova Station as Jarek Malone adjusted the hollow display of his small apartment window. He was tired, bones aching from the weeks of hauling cargo in the docks, but he had finally taken the step he had been considering for months. He had posted a job ad. Wanted, cook for small household. Will pay fairly. Flexible hours. He had imagined someone human, or at least humanoid, walking in, resume in hand, talking about their culinary skills and experience in kitchens or canteens. Perhaps a few references, maybe even a portfolio of recipes. Nothing extraordinary. Nothing otherworldly. But the universe, as it often did, had other plans. The chime on his door rang lightly. He opened it to a sight that nearly stole his breath. An alien woman stood in the doorway, her skin a soft lavender with patterns that shimmered faintly like starlight. She clutched a small bundle to her chest, rocking it gently. The infant's eyes, bright emerald and impossibly large, blinked up at him, curious and unafraid. I'm looking for work, she said, her voice trembling slightly. I can cook and clean and care for children. Jarek blinked. You have a baby with you? She nodded, holding the infant closer.
Yes.
He needs food.
I
need a job.
Please.
I can work hard. His mind scrambled. He had expected a cook, not an entire package deal. But as he looked into her eyes, filled with desperation, yet fierce determination, something shifted. He could see she would do whatever it took to survive. Come in, he said finally, stepping aside. Her name was Lyrina, and her baby was Tahl. Once inside, she carefully placed Tahl in a small crib he had for his own niece when she visited, though it had long gone unused. The infant gurgled, exploring the world with tiny hands, while Lyrina busied herself with the small kitchen, setting out ingredients she had carried in a satchel. Jarek leaned against the doorway, unsure what to say. So, you cook? Yes, she replied. On my planet, I was a cook for my family. I know spices, herbs, meats, vegetables. I can prepare anything to nourish the body and the spirit. She began to work, moving with a fluid grace that reminded him of dancers he had once seen in hollow theaters. Within moments, the apartment filled with scents he had never experienced, an intoxicating blend of alien spices, roasted protein, and sweet herbs. Jarek's stomach growled, and he realized he hadn't eaten since dawn. Dinner will be ready soon, she said softly. I hope it is to your liking. When she finally served the meal, Jarek hesitated for a fraction of a second before tasting it. The first bite made his eyes widen. Rich, complex, perfectly balanced flavors filled his mouth. Every bite told a story, not just of ingredients, but of care, of love, of survival. This is incredible, he said, wiping his mouth. Lyrina smiled faintly, bowing her head. Thank you. I only wish to provide for my son. Her words struck him deeply. In all his years, he had never seen someone work not for pride or ambition, but purely for love. The days that followed were a whirlwind of adjustment. Jarek provided the apartment and modest salary. Lyrina provided nourishment, care, and warmth. Tahl thrived, his laughter filling the small quarters, and even the elderly neighbors, initially wary of the alien mother, soon grew fond of the little family. Jarek observed quietly, sometimes helping feed Tahl, sometimes fixing the pipes or machinery Lyrina had yet to learn about. He was fascinated by her work ethic, her resilience, and the subtle ways she made the apartment feel like a home again. One evening, as the three sat around the tiny dining table, Jarek asked, Have you always lived alone? Lyrina's gaze darkened briefly. I lost my mate in the trade wars. My people, they shunned me because I could not protect him. And then, Tahl became my reason to live. Jarek nodded, understanding more than she could know. Humans, too, had endured wars and loss. Yet the way she carried herself, steadfast and unbroken, left him in awe. "You've done what many could not," he said softly. She blinked. "I do what I must." It wasn't all easy. The station could be harsh, and whispers followed them when they ventured into markets or docking areas. Some mocked Tahl, some mocked Lyrina, some even looked at Jarek with suspicion. Why was a human employing an alien mother with a child? But Jarek never faltered. One evening, as a group of dockhands began laughing at Tahl's large eyes and purple-tinted skin, he stepped in. "Leave them alone," he said firmly. "Do you think I care what species you are? Do you think I care what bloodline you come from? This child is alive and thriving because his mother fought to keep him alive. Show some respect." The dockhands hesitated, then muttered insults as they walked away. Lyrina looked at Jarek with a mixture of relief and gratitude. "Thank you," she whispered. "No," he said. "Thank you for teaching me what family really means." Months passed, and the little apartment became a haven. Lyrina began experimenting with new recipes, blending the flavors of her world with the ingredients she found on Terra Nova Station. Jarek sometimes helped, chopping vegetables or stirring sauces, and Tahl watched eagerly, eager to taste everything his mother created. The meals became renowned among the locals. Workers from the docks came not only to eat, but to feel the warmth of the home she had built. What had begun as a desperate act of survival now became an enterprise of care and community. One day, a wealthy trader offered to buy her recipes for a fortune. Lyrina hesitated, but Jarek shook his head. "No," he said. "This isn't just food. It's family. It's love. It cannot be bought, only shared." Her eyes glimmered. "Thank you for understanding." One rainy evening, as the three of them sat watching the station lights flicker across the wet streets, Jarek asked, "Have you ever imagined that a simple job ad could lead to all this?" Lyrina laughed softly, rocking Tahl.
No.
"I thought you would want to cook. Not me, and my son." He smiled. "I didn't need a cook. I needed a reminder that kindness can change everything." Tahl gurgled and reached for Jarek's hand, as if affirming the bond that had formed between them. Lyrina's heart swelled. For the first time in years, she felt safe, cherished, and valued, not because she could work, but because someone had chosen her, her child, and her love. Years later, travelers spoke of the human who posted a simple job ad and ended up welcoming an alien mother and her baby into his life. Stories spread of the meals she prepared, the laughter that echoed through a small apartment on Terra Nova Station, and the quiet acts of courage and love that transformed a desperate situation into a family. Jarek never considered himself a hero. He simply did what he felt was right. Lyrina never forgot the fear she had felt entering his apartment that first day. And Tahl grew strong, curious, and happy, carrying with him the legacy of two worlds united by choice, compassion, and care. In the end, it was simple. A man had posted a job ad looking for a cook. An alien mother had walked in with her baby. And together, they created a family. A family born not of obligation, but of love.